Thomas, the cheeky, fussy little engine, and his pals from Shining Time Station could be rolling down the track at your house now. From the island of Sodor, there's faithful Edward, distinguished James, helpful Toby, and proud Gordon, heading for the station on schedule again. Noisy Harold, the helicopter, he's here too. And you can wave to Sir Topham Hatt as you roll through.
Ertl makes a whole world of Thomas in sturdy die-cast metal, along with playsets complete from tracks to town. Shining Time Station.
Ertl, I've ignored you for long enough now. What went wrong? Alright folks, here's one that may have seemed like it was coming out of nowhere. If you're watching this, then you probably know who I am. I am someone who enjoys and mostly specializes in collecting the wooden railway brand. So, why the heck am I making a video on Ertl? Well, today I wanted to talk to you about exactly what happened with Ertl and my take on the brand as a whole. Why is it good? Why is it bad? And what is its redeeming factor? First off, what is good about this stuff? Well, we all know what it is. The first major, somewhat successful Thomas brand. Of course, as the name implies, it was produced by the Ertl Company from 1986 to 2004. The Ertl Company itself based most of its business around making small toy replicas of agricultural equipment, like tractors, excavators, and diggers. I actually once saw these for sale in a store in person. They kind of remind me of those small metal toys you can see being sold at like every big grocery store. Anyway, some positives about regular Ertl have to be the quality of these models. You could throw these things off the side of a cliff and they'd still be in perfect condition.
Oh dear.
Minus the couplings, that is. We will talk about those later. Another positive is the massive range you could buy from. This was the first toy line that got almost all the characters from the show at the time, and has ones that even are exclusive to Ertl. Finally, I cannot forget to mention the affordability of these things. They are dirt cheap by Thomas merchandise standards. I mean, have you ever looked at eBay's wooden railway prices? Crazy! This is a very brief glance at the brand, but we must move on to talk about what the main subject of this video is. What went wrong? Okay, so why do I keep implying that something is wrong with these models? I mean, heck, I just gave them all these compliments. Well, I won't lie, I actually do enjoy Ertl, but more and more I have noticed the outstanding issues with it. I should start with the biggest number one reason for this video. These models are so horribly proportioned. It's not even funny at times. For example, here's a lovely Ertl Oliver. Now here is that same lovely Ertl Oliver next to a Ertl Toad. Why is Toad a literal skyscraper? He makes Oliver look tiny, and it grinds my gears so much. I won't even talk anymore about this. It's just so jarring to look at sometimes. The second point I want to make is the Ertl system's choice of couplers. As many people have pointed out in the past, the pin system is actually incredibly weak. So many pieces of rolling stock have completely broken couplers because of this, meaning that Skyscraper Toad can't even be on a train behind Oliver now. Finally, there is the track. Do I even need to say anything? It's just absolutely useless. The engines derail on it like a stick of butter on a pan. The track is hard to put together, and finally, it was almost impossible to find unless you bought a large set. So, in the end, your scenario looks like this. Toad is a foot taller than Oliver. When Oliver goes to pull a train, the couplings snap and Toad is left behind. And finally, they don't even have any track to run on in the first place. Admittedly, I am taking this to an absolute extreme, but I feel like these issues get glossed over so often by people. Ertl, I love ya. but you have so many holes. I'm done with ranting about this, so maybe it's time to look at what really saves Ertl, and makes it good. The late UK Ertl items. The late UK Ertl items were all amazing. They included, but are not limited to, Arthur, our god, Murdoch, Salty, Emily, the Silly Trucks, Fergus, and more like the pack. All of them were amazing, and they fixed almost all the issues I brought up earlier. Their proportions were almost always great, their couplings actually worked, and finally the track. Okay, well, they didn't quite fix the track, but hey, it fixed most of the other things. And of course, they have Arthur. Speaking of which, let's go, I finally have one. This video was different from the last Thoughts on video I made, so I hope you all enjoyed it. I tried different editing techniques and tried to go deeper into the topic than I did in the past. And of course, I have to acknowledge the elephant in the room, my new profile picture. Hope you guys like it. Until the next time, folks, this has been Sutter Island Studios.